Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Baxter, and Clarence White is here with me on this show. And as you remember, Clarence White's the lead guitarist, or was, with the Byrds. And an interesting thing, we're going to have a whole show devoted to just me and Clarence. No big band, no drummers, no accordion players, nothing, just me and Clarence. And so the purpose of the show is to show Clarence White, incredible guitar player that he is, playing here before you almost all by himself. And another thing that we're going to try to do in the show is make Clarence smile, so we'll be right back. Clarence White, how are you?
Fine.
Now, I've got everybody here, an audience for you, Clarence. I wanted to bring them here to witness what we're about to do.
Yeah.
And it's going to be terrific. Now, what I want to know is, a bunch of these people came out to me before the show and wanted to know, I mean, here we are. You're one of the finest flat pickers that's probably, I think, ever come up the pike. And we want to ask you some things that are meaningful both to the audience here, that are a lot of guitar players, and to the audience out in TV land. So the first question I want to ask you, have down here is, do you sleep in the nude?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, well, that's fine. I had, next one is, what color nightie do you sleep in? But okay, we'll get into the more meaty stuff. Now, Clarence, most people who, when they flat pick, listening to you, you do some things that are fairly special in flat picking style. Now, for example, this is a flat pick. If we can get a close shot of a camera on a flat pick here, this is a flat pick. And the old, what camera? Ah, there's the camera. This is a flat pick. You've seen the old trick, of course, where now it's gone, right? Anyway, there's a flat pick. And normally when you play with a flat pick, you pick down and go chunka, boom, chaka, boom, chaka, boom, chaka. You play a little bit different than that, Clarence, a little bit better, I hope. And could you rip off a song like Listen to the Mockingbird, I thought we'd do. And if we get the camera in on Clarence's guitar and Clarence's hands, we can kind of pick out a few things that are, I think, very interesting. Do you think they're interesting, Clarence?
Slightly.
Okay, after all, you do them, right? Okay, here we go. Now, peering over the head of your guitar and looking down at your guitar there, I noticed a few kind of interesting things that you do that I thought maybe we'd play a little bit slow motion. One of the things I saw you do that I'm not quite familiar with is that I noticed when you flat pick a string, you're using your fingers up on the trebles a bit. Now,
Yeah.
I think we talked before and you mentioned that when you started playing with the Byrds, you used that in rock and roll music. Now, what, is there a name for that?
I don't think so.
I see, Clarence. That's the way it's going to be.
I haven't named it yet.
Is it something you do and nobody else does?
No, I'm sure other people do it.
Because I've seen, like, Glenn Campbell do some stuff like that, too.
He does it, yeah.
Can you play a little, just a maybe slowed down lick so we can hear what it does? Can you play a little lick that way and then play it just with the flat pick and we can hear the difference?
Well, you can't get as much speed, you know.
Oh, I see. So if you want to play little groups of notes, you would add your fingers to it? So, in other words, look, okay, I don't know. You don't know about this, Clarence. But if, you know, like if I want to play a series of notes like that, okay? I go thumb and index middle ring, right? Okay, with the pick I go boom, 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 okay? Now I think what you're doing is you're using the pick and then these fingers up here.
Yeah.
Now is there any kind of, any style you do that with? I mean, I think you mentioned before you didn't used to do that.
I started doing it when I started playing electric guitar, actually.
When was that? How long ago? How many
About
years?
6 years ago.
Yeah. And so, is there any other kind of techniques like that where you use your fingers? Because I noticed there was a sound you got that was not just a brush style. It was kind of like, I don't know, what's that?
Well, that's more of a McReynolds style.
Why is it called McReynolds style?
Yeah, I forgot his name. He's a mandolin player.
McReynolds.
McReynolds, yeah.
Hey, there's his
Yeah.
name.
Jesse
Is it Jesse McReynolds?
Yeah.
Can you play a
plays-
little bit of lick of that?
Yeah, it's like three-finger style with a pick.
Yeah. That's really pretty. So those are two styles that you use quite a bit, or you don't use them very much, or once in a while, or when you feel like it,
Yeah,
or what?
once in a while when I feel like it.
Oh, that's really pretty. Say, if you're playing, let's say, a song where other instruments are playing, do you play these kinds of patterns, or don't they, or don't you hear them? Or the audience doesn't hear them. In other words, they seem like very quiet, beautiful little patterns. But let's say you're playing with a banjo and a mandolin and stuff like that. Do you hear them? Do you play them enough?
Not as much, right.
Yeah, but so what do you what kind of stuff do you play? Should someone be singing
Well,
or
you
playing
have to-
along a band?
You have to do a lot more force with the pick.
Like what? So a
You have
lot
to play
stronger
lot
kinds
harder,
of stuff?
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a challenge. I'll do a song, Crawdad Song. I'm sure you know that, because after all, before the show started, we said let's do the Crawdad Song, and as a crawdad just fell down. So why don't we do that, and then we give an idea of what you do to back up somebody else, and then you want to play a lead on it too?
All right.
Sure. Let's see. You get a line, I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line, I'll get a pole, baby. You get a line, I'll get a pole. We'll go on down to the crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. Little baby to do, honey. All I want my little baby to do, baby. All I want my little baby to do is make $3 and give me two now, honey, baby mine. Well, the little bandy rooster told the Dominicker hen, honey. Well, the little bandy rooster told the Dominicker hen, baby. Well, the little bandy rooster told the Dominicker hen, don't come round my barnyard again now, honey, baby mine. I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line, I'll get a pole, baby. You get a line, I'll get a pole. We'll mosey on down to the crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. Play one more. be right back. Hi, we're back with Clarence White on guitar, and we've just been joined by Roland White. Where did you come from, Roland?
Back there.
Back there. So what we're going to do is point out a couple things about Clarence's guitar playing that I'd like to share with the audience. These are some little things I've noticed because I have a very keen ear, as you've probably noticed. There's one thing that you're famous for, Clarence,
Yes.
but I'll tell about the other one. And the first thing that comes to mind when someone mentions your guitar playing, I heard it on when you listened to the Mockingbird, and that is that Clarence plays offbeat. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone else has rhythm and Clarence doesn't have rhythm. But what it means is you tend to play some of the notes, placing them where a singer would place them rather than a guitar player. If I may demonstrate, who could do it better? Now, listen. What I'm talking about is, listening to the Mockingbird, instead of going... you go... catch that offbeat, like that. Now, where did you learn that? Very few players I've heard do that a lot, or as much as you do. In other words, when the pick comes up, you play a melody note. Is that something you've done all along, or what?
Yeah.
Since when, Clarence?
Since I've been playing guitar.
How long have you been playing
I
guitar?
like to fool with time, you know.
Yeah, it's because you seem to be playing against the other guitar players than keeping your own rhythm.
It's just keeping straight time can get boring.
Yeah, but it's pretty darn interesting to hear that kind of rhythm. Now, another thing I want to point out, since you refused to answer that with any kind of thing. Why don't you ask me the questions, Clarence, and I can demonstrate these things. Something else that's also beside this offbeat rhythm that sends chills up my back, because you have sent chills up my back for years, and this one record has done it, and this is the record. I'm digging this out. This, by the way, is a very valuable record because it isn't in print anymore. It's called Appalachian Swing with the Kentucky Colonels, and this is a record that, when was it put out? 6 years ago? Something like that? 1964? And this contains an awful lot of purely instrumental tunes by Clarence on guitar and Roland, his brother, on mandolin. And my favorite tune on here, and probably one of my favorite tunes of anybody, is I Am a Pilgrim. And I want the people at home and everybody here in the audience to listen to something that's quite unusual. And that is a specific sound that I think only two brothers can get. It's very interesting. You can listen to a lot of records of 2 or 3 people playing, but there's just a sound, the way your music overlaps. And of course, you're not going to be able to do it now that I've mentioned it. But let's give a listen to that. It's really a super duper song. I want to back you up on this. What key is it in?
Sure. A.
A. thank you for letting me. I've always wanted to play along with that. I've sat at home many times, turn on the record, and sit there and play with my ukulele and things like that. But to do this live is, you are alive, aren't you guys? But to do this alive, listen under these hot lights, how does anyone know what you are? What we're going to do now is talk about a kind of guitar playing that some people have heard before, that is not kind of, peculiar to your playing, and that is like what I call Doc Watson guitar playing, because I have not heard it before I heard Doc Watson play, and that's playing fiddle music on guitar. And just before, during the break I asked you, and you said, well, you weren't influenced by Doc Watson, you kind of picked it up on your own. Where did you hear fiddle
my dad
music?
used to play fiddle.
Oh, did he?
And when I was real young, I tried to play those notes on the guitar.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, what did you do? Just try to copy the notes from with a flat pick?
Yeah.
Did you ever play fiddle yourself?
No, I never had.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little group going here. We have some people who do you know is here?
Hey.
It's Byron Brill. Hi, Byron.
Howdy.
And how are you, Alan? And Roland White is going to play mandolin, and we're going to play a tune here that's fiddle-style flat picking. Do you do any of these kind of offbeat rhythms or when you play this kind of music, or is it just too fast?
There's not enough time.
What about using your fingers on the treble strings we talked about
No.
earlier? No time, huh?
You break your finger.
Well, in warming this song up, I want to tell you that I got such a pain from backing this up. This is terribly, terribly fast for me. I must be fading.
Try.
I will try as hard as I can. But this is, what are we playing, by the way? Playing Black Mountain Rag?
Soul's Joy.
Soldier's Joy. Okay, in the key of?
D.
In the key of D, because we want all the viewers to be playing along with us. Isn't that right? All right? We'll be right back. Well, we're back again, just in time to say goodbye. But remember to get this wonderful album, and you have a new album coming out, don't you, Clarence? Or aren't you working with a new group that's cutting an album?
Yeah.
The Bluegrass Dropouts?
Right, yeah.
Is that the name of the group?
That's not going to be the name of the group.
You haven't figured out the name of the group.
No,
Look for this album, friends. It'll be out.
Because you can't get it.
You can't get it. I mean, so not only is this one hard to get, the new one you can't get. And but in any event, what might be useful if you want to pick up some of Clarence White's tricks is pick up any flat-picking manual that might happen to be at your favorite bookstore, and you too will be able to do some of these things. Well, we'll see you next time, and be sure to send in cards and letters. By the way, there's a tune in there by you. I think you're going to sue me. All right. We'll see you next time, but please write and keep your feet a-tappin'.